breaking is gonna get that big. It's gotta start here in Korea.
It might not be perfect in everyone's eyes, but it's like the first step towards something big, I think.
No sitä mä oon kuullut koko pieni ikäni, että menen nyt oikeisiin töihin, että mitä te nyt oikein leikitte, breikkipojat, että niinku.
Something's gonna have to change, or we're gonna be living like this forever.
I don't like. You don't like Bboys? I love to dancing.
There's a lot of in breaking that's it's worth way more than money. That's so true. But there's a lot in life that's worth way more than yourself. What's the question again? My name is Dizzy from the Supernatural's crew in Rock Price 7 Commandos. First time I ran into breaking was in 1992. I was into a lot of trouble. I was like rolling with some gangs. It's a lot different because when I first started, there was like no competitions. You just break with your friends, and then you'd go out to a party, and when it came to an old school hip hop song or whatever, or like an old school rap song, you know, people just automatically knew breaking would start. You wouldn't even have to say let's battle. You would just throw down in the same circle, and then it automatically just somehow turned into a battle, and that's why it was so hype. You know, if you were whack and your skills were whack, people would let you know. You know what I mean? Like the crowd would let you know you suck. I think I started getting like a lot of props or fame in my area, you know, because of like my legs. My friend showed me a video. He said, this guy is the best b-boy in the world, and he showed me crazy legs. So I was like, okay, if he's the best b-boy in the world, it's because he's got crazy legs. So I based my whole style on trying to have the most craziest legs and footwork, legwork, movement patterns that I possibly could. From the very beginning, I just realized, yeah, I'm doing it, but there's no money in breaking. And for a long time, I was just doing it, no money in breaking. Just, it's about the battle, it's about the girls. I would be dying to get to practice. I'd be like, oh my God, it's Monday, I'm gonna practice. I'd be in school, writing down like every single move that I had. Like I would be drawing the pictures out. Like, yo, I spent so much time writing in these books. Usually I'd be always talking to people and like, you know, and getting in trouble and having temper tantrums, you know what I mean? But because I was so into this breaking, I was just like, quiet. You know, I was a naive kid. I thought everything was happy dandy until I started getting bullied and picked on. Once that happens to someone, it just changes your mind. It just changes the way you are, you know? Something in me just wanted to like hurt people. So I think breaking was something that allowed me to like, you know, express that part of me, you know what I mean? When I was 18 years old, at one point I had to move away to Philippines. I got my mother to send me there because I was getting into so much trouble with like police, like fights. People were looking for me, I was looking for people, there was like a war. And one day I had a dream about breaking. I dreamt that I was in this huge stadium and there was like a spotlight in the middle of this huge stage. And a spotlight came onto like this guy, and he was just like, all right, everyone. And the spotlight went on this DJ on the top, and the DJ started like, you know, like spinning this music. Like back then it was old school hip hop. Boom, 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 boom. And all of a sudden these two crews came up onto the stage, and it was just like two crews of like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 20 people each, and just started battling, and it was just like, and everyone was going crazy and like, whoa! And that was so significant to me because it was like the greatest thing I've ever seen. And at that point, there was never any competition, nothing close to being anything like that. Then I saw Battle of the Year, UK champs. And then I saw the Koreans in their events, and I was like, They started to make me believe that my dream can actually happen, that breaking is gonna get that big. Everywhere else, every other culture or lifestyle or even a sport or artist, they all have ways to make money. They know how to do it. We're all of those things. This guy, he emailed a big university from Australia and said, why do you not consider b-boying as an official dance, like a legitimate dance or art form? And the reply was, because every legitimate art form or dance form that's not a fad, that's not just a thing that we're doing, has some type of governing body or an association that looks out for everything, that defines it, that does what's best in the interest of that culture. Other people have always said this, the way that you know something's a true art is if you know how to judge it. And people say, you can't judge art. Are you crazy? Art institutions, the reason why these paintings are up on the wall is because they have a specific way of what it means and how to judge it. So everything has a way to judge, not just people sitting there saying, I think they won or they won. You know what I mean? Right now I'm gonna go pick up my passport, get my visa for China. I have one Chinese visa. It's already checkmarked, means it's done. I have the second one. I guess so. I guess breaking was my only real job I've ever really had. Youth programs, I started doing that when I went to college. I took recreation and programming, so I started opening up practice spots for breaking all over Toronto. Well, when I was younger, I lived with my mother. I didn't have to worry about rent. I was like kind of like a bum. 2006, got my own place. That's when it was really hard, you know what I mean, to make a living. And I had to try to really bust my ass just to make rent. Went into debt because of credit cards, and yeah, it was pretty tough. Yeah, I never really cared about money though. That's the thing. So, you know. And right now I live in Seoul, Korea, in Itaewon Foreigner District. I owned my own company. I had my own office in Toronto, and I did my own big events. I realized that there's no way that things could change or make things grow any bigger. And I was like, is this how I'm gonna live the rest of my life? Trying to beg sponsors for money? I don't think NBA has to go to, looking to go to the sponsors. We should to sponsor our game. I'm pretty sure it's the other way around. But here, it's if you have a dream and you have the connections, you can make anything happen in Korea. Korea itself is a trendsetter, a trend-setting country. If there's anywhere in the world that we can make b-boy become professional with judging system and scoring system and set a new standard, it would have to be Korea. I miss my crew, I miss my family, I miss my friends. I need to sacrifice and do things to accomplish something for the greater good, And I believe that if b-boying grows big all over the world, I know I've done my part in this world,
This company is responsible for b-boying to grow. They really believe in what I'm doing and what my vision is, you know what I mean?
I was watching Flea Rock versus No Name and reading the comments. Flea Rock won, Abstract was the only judge, but No Name really ripped it. I'm not saying who won. There's no official standard, right? So if you think about it, right? Abstract, his style is about freestyle, flow, and finesse, right? So if you think about just that, then Flea Rock had more flow, finesse, and freestyle, right? He probably really thought that Flea Rock won, based on his perspective.
My last battle was 3 weeks ago at AFN, a Friday night in Korea. I lost. I wanted answers. I wanted to know why I lost. I did feel a bit confused.
take it personal. You take your dance personal when somebody decides that, yeah, your expression or your way of expressing your dance was not good enough.
There are some days where the reasons are quite obvious. If you know you crashed, or if you know your opponent was clearly better than you. But then there are other days when you're a bit more equally matched, and sometimes you feel the judge's decision goes down to just opinion.
As a dancer, you're subjected to a subjective decision-making process. Even though you signed up for it, if it goes against you, it kind of pisses you off just a little bit.
Currently, judging has been inconsistent, opinion-based, unexplained. Lately, judging has been a bit of a mystery.
First time the judging system was made into a concept was in 1999. I organized one of the first competitions or B-boy events in Toronto called Back to the Underground. And at that time, there was no competitions, there was no judging systems, it was only pretty much ciphers before that. So I started thinking, how am I gonna judge this, right? So me and my crew started talking about it, and we thought that it would be really stupid if we just get a couple of guys to sit down together and just say, hey, I think he won or they won. Like, that would be retarded. So we said, okay, there has to be some criteria. We said there's the people who think foundation is the most important. There's people who think originality is the most important. There's people who think all the dynamics and blow-ups and tricks is the most important. You know, there's people who think that, you know, being clean and not making any mistakes is the most important. And there's people who think that it's all about like how you respond in a battle.
Foundation is about having that swagger and dancing with either A, complete musicality confined only to the music, B, footwork or sporadic or energy, or C, about finesse and suave. Next category is originality or artistry. Okay, originality is about having your own creativity and unique individuality, having either your own character, your own style, your own technique, or your own concepts, and even possibly flipping things around to make it your own. Dynamics is about having very distinguishable or observable qualities in your moves, such as a high level of balance, speed, strength, energy, complexity, something dangerous or that can have a risk of injury, or even flexibility. Execution is about executing 5 components. You must execute your confidence, a rhythm, you have to execute your style, no stumbles, you gotta execute your technique, your moves, no crashes, and you gotta execute something fresh or new every round, no repeating. The battle category is about 2 things. Having your confidence, and not just any confidence, but swagger, meaning aiming your style and your moves at your opponent. And 2, responding, meaning taking what your opponent does and either outdoing it or adding on. There's 1 judge assigned to each perspective. Each judge is giving a score from 1 to 5 only according to his or her category. And the winner is determined by who wins the majority of the 5 perspectives.
Well, I think I would go to the battle with our system. And the reason why is because I know what people are looking at. I know what I need to do to win the battle, you know? I know that I need to have foundation to a certain level. I know that, you know, my dynamics have to be on point. I need to be artistic. Whereas if I go to a battle where anyone's judging, it could be, you know, the other crew's friends. They could be like paying off the judge. Who knows, you know? It's not, it's not, you know, concrete.
There's so many different directions you can go into, and you don't always know if the judges can relate to your style. I mean, there's flexi styles, there's power moves, there's guys who focus more on rocking, foundation. Everyone has their own opinion. And I think there's been a lot of beef all around the world with people trying to say that their mindset is the right way or their way is the best way. And I think the R16 judging system, the new one, the hour system, brings everything together and it accounts for everything.
Boxing does it. You can look and say, hey, that guy whipped that guy's butt. But the experts look at him and be like, nah, man, dude on the right took it. Why? And they can tell you why. They can tell you why. In B-Boy, you can't do that.
But then, even if you speak to the judges, they don't even remember what happened in the battle. Like, there's so many rounds, everything just goes past, goes past, goes past. Like, we all understand how the human mind works. You can't remember a 20-minute battle and decide in 5 seconds who's the winner.
Ausysteemin tuomarointi oli äärimmäisen helppoa, koska meillä oli se iPodi kädessä ja siinä oli sitten, piti vaan painaa nappulaa heti kun oli rani mennyt. Ja monesti kun itse tuomaroi ilman systeemejä, niin pitää tehdä muistinpanoja ja itse rustailla sinne mitä ikinä tekeekään ja sitten seuraa samaan aikaan, että mitä tapahtuu. Ja periaatteessa itse on täysin vastuussa siitä koko tilanteesta. Tosiaan kun se oli kavennettu se perspektiivi, mitä katsotuomarina, niin ei tarvinnut sillä lailla vertailla, että jos tämä tekee noin ja sitten toinen tekee jotain ihan eri tyyliä, niin miten ne sitten, kumpi niistä on parempi, se on aina se hankala juttu tässä breakin tuomaroinnissa. Et esimerkiksi mulla se execution oli mun kategoria, niin sitten mä katsoin, että jos se veti hyvin tai jos se crashaili menemään, niin sitten sen perusteella annoin omat niin kuin arvosanat sitten tousta.
With the hour system, they can tell you, okay, in your second round, this was sloppy, your execution was off, or whatever was wrong. So you can track everything. It breaks everything down.
Like, okay, let's say today's judge is a power mover, right? Oh, I got to do power moves to win the battle. It's not like that. You know exactly what you have to do to win a battle.
Our judging system has got rules. It's consistent, it's explainable. You get answers, answers you can understand, answers you can work on.
I think it has the potential to take the dance to the next level.
For B-Boys, we're just gonna go through the same cycle, talking about how it's bullshit, it's someone got robbed or whatever, but they're just gonna get completely lost. And that's exactly pretty much what I think what happened in Korea. Right now we're gonna go to meet up with my homeboy from All The Way Live that does All The Way Live in Power Surge. I'm gonna have a meeting with him and dinner to see if he'd be interested in implementing our systems at All The Way Live Manila.
It's definitely a step in the right direction. It'd be very beneficial for us to have a system like this as a community, just because again there isn't anything, you know.
I talked to people from who were fans of gamblers, because gamblers were winning everything back then. And the reason why they like gamblers, because they were the best crew, they won world championships. And when you look at gamblers opposed to other crews, they have better power.
A lot of times what happens is, let's bring our mom or an aunt to a jam, and guess what happens? They'll be really excited for the first 2 battles, and then what?
Right? But one day they would lose against, let's say, Rivers' crew, and then the fans would be like, why did they lose? Well, because Rivers has better foundation, better dancing. Okay, so then they're like, okay, it's about dancing. And the next time Rivers would lose against gamblers, again, and they'd be like, what is going on here?
What it does is it just takes that guessing out and makes it like, okay, this guy has good foundation. This guy has, good battle tactics.
There used to be so many viewers in Korea watching breaking, but because there was no way to understand breaking, then they just stopped watching. They lost respect for breaking.
And so I guess that'd be the good thing about it, is that the audience isn't confused or isn't in darkness. just makes it a little bit easier to understand what is happening, you know?
They can be entertained. They can be like, this is really entertaining, but you can't really respect it because there's nothing in it that you can acknowledge, that you can be like, this is official, this is how it is. There's actual deep thought and philosophy.
Nothing's concrete right now. If you at least have one base, you know, the judging system, then you can have your trends on top of that, that's fine, things can change. But if you have something concrete, then you can have something that, you know, can evolve but yet stay the same the whole time.
Jonkunlaiset standardit meillä pitää olla mun mielestä tuomaroinnissa, että tyylejä rupeaa olemaan niin paljon erilaisia ja niin kuin jokainen tekee vähän mitä sattuu, niin se on meidän niin kuin vastuulla päättää se, että mikä nyt sitten on breikkiä ja mikä ei toisaalta, vaikka niin kuin totta kai se luovuus ja omaperäisyys on niin kuin yksi tärkeimmistä jutuista tässä koko lajissa.
So like this judging system is like the trunk of a tree. And there can be tons of branches, you know, there can be tons of leaves, different colors and stuff. It's no problem, it makes it more beautiful, you know, but it needs a base.
B-boying is not a sport. It's not. It's a culture. It's a dance. It's an art. You know, that's what it is. It's like saying when people are fighting on the street, a street fight. It's like saying that's a sport.
I think you have to agree that it does have sporting aspect to it because you have, you know, two crews, two teams going against each other head to head, just like soccer, basketball, something like that.
Tämä on tämä yksi ikuisuuskysymys, että onko se taidetta vai urheilua. Mun mielestä molempia ja enemmän taidetta. Ja siitä huolimatta mä ja mun ryhmä treenataan kuin ammattilaisurheilijat. Niin se on mun mielestä se urheiluaspekti on enemmän se treeniosuus siinä ja ehkä se kilpailuisuus joo, mutta niin kuin kulttuuri sen taustalla on kaikista tärkeää. Jos sitä ei ole, niin sitten ei ole paljon jäljellä.
B-boying is like a language. It's everything, you know what I mean? But a professional competition, once you put judges there, you put time limit, you put a cash prize, you put a clear winner or loser, it becomes, in every definition, a sport when you make it like that. Taekwondo, right? It's not a sport, it's a martial art. But once they go into a professional Taekwondo competition where there are rules and judges and everything, that is a sport now, because it's a game.
We're not trying to like take over the b-boy scene and make it, you know, like only battling on ESPN or something like that, you know? We want to keep the rawness. We understand that it's an art form and everything like that.
What I think about Amjad and the Circle Kings is I think that's dope, right? I think it's a good idea because, we need to have events that aren't just about the competition.
So, like I just said, yeah, there's different types of battles, and I think it should be like that, you know? There's raw stuff, you know, there's the huge showy stuff, but I think it can work together, you know, if people try hard enough to, you know, let room for, you know, other people's views and stuff like that. And, you know, it depends how b-boys want to do this, how they want to approach it. We're not trying to say, this is how it is. We want to get everyone's opinion and make it best for everyone together, you know?
The main point is that we need to set up bars and levels. Like, for example, in the skateboarding industry, right? It was only because of that competitions, those huge half pipes and that level that brought the media attention. And as skating got so big, now the underground scene with that filming and that steez and that just skating on the street is now huge too, right? The pro and the underground, right? And they're both, they need each other. Yeah, I heard some people say that, b-boys shouldn't make money and, they shouldn't make money off b-boying. And it's really easy to say when you have options. You have like jobs or you have you come from a rich family or whatever. Yeah, it's so simple to say. But when you don't have anything, you don't have even like a father, you don't have, an education, you don't have any money, but all you have is your ability to dance. You know what I mean? Then and you're working so hard to dance, and that's all, because that's all you've ever known while growing up, and that's what saved you from being in trouble, from being in a gang, And now it's like people are recognizing you for your skills. It's easy for someone who's not in that situation to be like, oh, you shouldn't make money and whatever, but that's not true. If you ever went to the Philippines and you saw the b-boys there that do it and they don't have anything, you know what I mean? You're telling them that they can't make money, you know what I mean? So what should they do? Should they go telling them to go beg, and not get money from shows?
เต้นเพื่อเปิดหมวกครับเก็บเงินฮะเก็บเงินไปซื้อของเป็นของตัวเองครับอยากเต้นไปเรื่อยชอบการเต้นครับสนุกดีครับซิโก้ครับอยากเต้นเก่งๆครับอยากมีอนาคตเป็นของตัวเองครับอยากมีครอบครัวเป็นของตัวเองครับรักครับผมรักเกี่ยวกับการเต้นแล้วเต้นทุกวันมันก็ไม่น่าเบื่อดีกว่าเอาไปยุ่งกับพวกยาเสพติดพวกอะไรพวกนี้แล้วงานอื่นมีทำไหมมีทำนะแต่ส่วนมากผมจะเลือกที่จะไม่ทำดีกว่าไปยุ่งพวกเด็กแว้นอย่างเงี้ยถ้าแบบชอบอ่ะแบบมันมารวมกลุ่มกันแล้วผมชอบมันเป็นแก๊งเตอร์ดิแล้วก็สร้างทีมสร้างอะไรเป็นของตัวเองเนี่ยมันดูเจ๋งกว่ามองแบบแข่งกันแบบมันสนุกแบบให้โลกข้างโลกเขารับรู้เลยว่าคนไทยเจ๋งจริงไม่แพ้กับต่างชาติสักวันผมจะไปเหยียบประเทศของเขา
Some people are just so close-minded about things. What you get from hip-hop that's so small can be so much to somebody else. You don't see a big picture where, you know, things can be better if everyone just gets together. It's bigger, man. It's something that can take care of everyone.
저는 처음에 저징 시스템을 도입한다고 했을 때 R16 때 그때는 처음엔 솔직히 왜 비보이 배틀에 그런 점수제가 도입이 되고 제가 생각하는 그런 배틀은 그렇게 다른 올림픽 게임처럼 저 누구에게 점수를 주고 점수를 받는 게 목적이 아니었잖아요. 원래는 배틀이란 게. 그래서 조금 어느 정도 반감을 갖고 있었는데 이게 시간이 지나고 이제 그 시스템을 만든 DG와도 많은 대화를 통해서 느낀 거는 저징 시스템에 대해서 느낀 건 다시 한번 생각하게 됐다는 거예요. 저징 시스템을 이제 여러 가지 대회에 도입을 한다면 이제 비보이 배틀이란 게 좀 더 다른 의미로 이제 계속 커갈 텐데 그 한마디로 리그전처럼 혹은 그럼 어떠한 비보이 배틀 시즌처럼 야구 경기나 뭐 예를 들어서 스타크래프트 경기처럼 약간 좀 더 다른 느낌의 배틀이 이제 만들어질 거라고 생각을 해요. 그리고 두 번째로는 그거보다 더 중요한 거는 우리 자신이 다른 미디어나 다른 뭐 비보이를 이용하려는 사람들한테 좀 더 우리를 보호할 수 있다고 생각을 해요. 그래서 저는 이 시스템이 그렇게 나쁘게만 생각하지 않고
There's certain people in the scene who hold a certain amount of power. They might throw jams, or they might, you know, have a whole bunch of judges lined up and whatever. They might feel threatened by the system because they might think, oh, now I can't just choose my judges or choose my friends. Or they might think, oh, well, this is what I think of b-boying, and I don't want to allow, I would hate to see the day that another crew that doesn't break like that wins. They fail to see that this system will still, like, you know, like, it will still help them, you know what I mean? It will help them and their event even grow even bigger too.
Like I said, people think maybe Dizzy's doing it, you know, for himself, to make himself like big or to make himself rich, but I've worked together with him this past year and seen that that's not what he's doing. You know, he works with Cartel Creative together right now, like in and out, day and night. He pretty much stopped practicing. He's put a lot of things out. You know, if you look at his stuff on YouTube, on our channel, he's got stuff, you know, about his plan for the B-Boys future, about what the association is, about what the judging system is. He just made a manual for the judges and the district representatives and stuff. At least look at all the information he has before going and judging it, you know?
Se kansi kuitenkin pitää mielessä, että miten iso porukka tätä AOI-systeemiä on ollut tekemässä, että siellä on ollut kaikki niitä OG-tyyppejä ja lajin legendoja tekemässä näitä dokumentteja, minkä perusteella niin kuin, mihin se perustuu se koko tuomarointi. Plus sitten Dizillä on tietty vuosia ja vuosia, mitä se on kehittänyt koko systeemiä. Että niin kuin, ei tämä ole mikään sutastu juttu, mikä niin kuin on vaan keksitty, että R16 näyttäisi hienolta, vaan niin kuin, tässä on vuosia ja vuosia duunin takana.
So the system is ready to go. It's just about the association aspect now. You know, getting people certified to, you know, because we're going to need a lot more judges, getting more officials because we're going to need more people looking after what are the agreed the standards. It's tough though, right? To get, you know, these kind of people who are really passionate about seeing such a big thing or a big change like this.
We're trying to provide opportunities for people that want to do what they keep doing, but at the same time they want to keep b-boying and help out the b-boying community. We're eventually trying to, you know, get this system implemented in countries around the world, and in order to do that, we need representatives in every country.
That's what I see the future for b-boying, like a place where, you know, all b-boys, you know, whether you're like OGs, pioneers, or legends, or you're new, there's a place for everyone to make a living, you know? That's what I see. If b-boy can grow to that level, you know, if we can take it there.
You know, the system, the association, we're trying to make non-for-profit. You know, we don't want any corruption involved. We don't want the media taking over. We're doing this for the b-boys. If we have a way to make everything concrete and documented, then, you know, then we have something, you know, for the future. We have hope.
When we lived together, I saw this old agenda and I opened it up and it was like from his first goal ever, like, you know, he would have everything planned out. Like, this is what's gonna happen, starting from like, you know, a list of 1 to 10 things that he's got to complete. And then everything he finished, he would take it out of his agenda and put it in his like finished pile. And he had like piles and piles of these. All he knows or loves is b-boying, so he's been working on this thing forever. Dizzy's a hard worker. He works very hard, and then when he comes home to play, it's basically Facebook, so he can write about his b-boy Dizzy diaries, and then it's YouTube to look at like the latest, if there's any latest uploads based on him or his interviews or, you know, fan comments. And then it goes to all his fan mails where he goes and prides himself on like answering each fan mail like individually. Yeah, I could barely get like a foot massage in at the end of the day. Like, I'll come home tired from work, I'll be like, can I get a 5-minute foot rub? And he'll be like, what? There's his ADD. It's funneled into like his b-boying.
Everything is cool. We make dinner, eating, and now it's like 2 o'clock in the morning where I have to wake up in the morning. And right before I go to bed, she's like, "Can I get a foot massage?" A foot massage. It's 2 o'clock. I gotta sleep at work. Like, you never give me a massage.
And I'll get home at 11 p.m. and I haven't eaten in 7 hours, and Dizzy will always have dinner on the table. So sweet.
Dizzy, yeah, like I said, he, you know, goofs around a lot. He's always fun to joke with, but he always, you know, you can tell he has like a direction. He knows what he's doing all the time, which is, you know, kind of cool to see in a person.
He wants, you know, everybody to like be organized together, whether it's his association or someone else's association. He's all for it. This is something that's his passion, his dreams, and his goals. It's all part of who he is, and something that he has to do it because it's from his heart. That's one of the things I love about him.
I really honestly believe that it's the reason why I'm supposed to be here, because that's what God wants me to do. It sounds crazy. In '98, I didn't think that there was ever going to be anything like this. A lot of people told me, yo, why are you doing this? Why are you breaking? And they thought I was going to be a bum. I thought I was going to be nothing.
The hardest thing about this job is that B-boys are too used to being rebels. This judging system kind of says that there is no right way, that everyone's way is equal and it's valid. You know, trying to get people to unite. You know what I mean? That's gonna be the hard part. No one respects breaking outside of B-boys. You know, now I'm talking about like 15-year-old girls at high school parties. I'm talking about like grown-ups. No one wants to say it, but they look at us just like, you know, like little punks and youths and whatever. They don't take us seriously. And we know that we're better than that, you know? And yeah, just think about that, right? Why we need to come together. And as we grow older, yeah, we have to fix things, right? Like we have to find ways to unite the community and protect the culture, right? So yeah, that's it. It's a lot. Okay.
Good? Yeah. Alright, word.
Hello.
Right, Pedro, let's shoot that rap video. Kick your ass.
Damn, you got into this camera shit. I dread to wonder what you do in the bed with this shit.
Yo, I saw an old lady walking down the street last year with a Battle of the Year t-shirt on. I was like, what? Yeah, like out in the country too. Like, this is crazy.
Nyt kyllä tarvii lisää kahvia tai jäbä.
It's not even for romance. I work my heels to the bone for this man, and it's not even for a romantic foot massage. It's more like, can you really, really rub my feet? Because they kill.